Tim Collins with Cullman Today. I'm back with Senator Paul Bussman. Senator Bussman, 2017 legislative session is Tuesday. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm very optimistic about this session. We've got a lot of things we've got to fix. We've got a lot of things we've got to work on. But I'm always optimistic going into the session that we can do what the people need us to do in a way that the people want us to do it.
Well, Governor Bentley seems focused on getting us about $800 million in prisons. I guess that's going to be a topic that comes up quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, there's been a full court press on that. We're having the options of touring prisons, which I've done in the past, so it's not something that I haven't done in the past already. My concern about this whole thing is, we've got so many issues that deal with prisons. Just building prisons is not going to be a solution to fix the problem. We've got mental health issues that are going to have to be taken care of. We've got judicial sentencing issues that have to be taken care of. So the whole package has got to be done. We just can't go out and spend $800 million, in my opinion, on prisons and not fix the other side of it and not cut off the flow of prisoners coming in, because that is a constant flow.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because this last week I was out on a tragic situation in the city of Cullman. A gentleman with some mental health issues died in a self-created fire after causing a major scene. It reminds me of a bathtub. I mean, the governor's talking about building a bigger bathtub, and there's more water pouring in than you can fit in it. Is that not about right?
Absolutely, and what a sad situation out in Cullman County. And that's the kind of situation that we've got to deal with. The funds for mental health has been cut so drastically over the years. We've got people out there that are really in need of serious mental health, and so we've got to really look at that budget and see if we can pump that up and beef that up a little bit, because I think that will slow the flow, and it will also help us in many areas in the state of Alabama with law enforcement and those type of things.
Now, we talk about money all the time. I guess budgets are a concern. We've got BP money, but it's always a fight over agencies wanting more money. I know the Aaliyah has asked for more money, which is understandable, but how does that all shake out?
Well, it's the normal thing every year. We have our budget hearings the week or so before we go into session. We did have budget hearings again this week. The agencies and departments come in with a pie in the sky budget that there's no way that we can fund, and they know that. And so it's up to us then as the legislators to adjust those budgets and make them fundable. What I would like to see is for them to come in with a more reasonable budget, and then let's figure out how to fund that budget. But when they come in with a double budget, a double amount of what they had the year before, that's just unrealistic, and they know it, and then they want to blame us for cutting their budget when they're not being helpful to us in guiding us on how to best fund their department.
Well, we know what to look for and all that. Now, last time we talked, President Obama was running the place. Now we've got a new sheriff, so to speak, President Trump. How do you expect that to trickle down and affect Alabama, your district, and so forth?
I'm very optimistic in the new administration in Washington. There's a whole lot of things on the table right now that could be very beneficial to my district and the state of Alabama as a whole. We're going to see immigration issues that have been a big problem in Alabama. We could see changes in education. We could see changes in many things. We could see changes in law enforcement. We could see changes in just so many different things that to me are going to be a great thing for us to be able to deal with. Medicaid, we have opportunities with Medicaid, and those things can be very, very helpful to the state of Alabama.
Well, it seems to me that not only senators, but representatives, the governor, the whole state government needs to be very alert, because when he makes a change, he's ready to go, and if you're caught flat-footed, you might miss out.
It's probably one of the first officers going into office that has told everybody exactly what he's going to do when he gets in office, and is doing it. And I can tell you what, that's a pleasant change in my world. That people can say, this is what I'm going to do. The people elected that person to do it, and that person goes right ahead and does it, irregardless of the protesters and those type of things. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think that we have many good opportunities here, and I think President Trump is going to carry through with many of his promises, and that can be very beneficial to us.
Well, now that mode of operation you're talking about with President Trump is similar to the way you operate in Montgomery. That's caused you some problems and also has got you some successes. What do you see on the political realm, challenges-wise, for you in this session?
Well, I think we'll always have challenges with leadership, and we're still having those challenges with leadership. And all I ask is that we have a reasonable rules, and everybody follows the rules. There's not anybody above the rules. I'm not above the rules. Leadership's not above the rules. And so my goal this time is to go in with leadership, try to be as effective as we can be, try to encourage leadership to set rules that are going to be fair to everybody, and then everybody's going to abide by those rules.
Now, last year you were instrumental in getting the hemp bill moved through. That's one of your signature bills. Is there anything on the table that you can reveal to us that you've got in mind as far as new legislation, or are you just going to go with what you've got right now?
Well, I think the hemp bill is going to continue to move. There's going to be continued progress on that bill, simply because the studies are going to be being finished by the universities. The other things that I'm working on are things that deal specifically with my rural area. Many times in the rural area, our young people are forced to house in dorms because they live more than 30 or 40 miles away from the university. That puts a tremendous disadvantage to the rural people. So what I'm recommending this time, one of the bills that I'm recommending is we allow a 60-mile or a 75-mile radius around a university where a child can go to school without having to live in a dorm. To me, that is, we have people commute to Huntsville and Decatur and Florence and Birmingham on a normal basis. For a college kid to do that 2 or 3 times a week, to me, is not an issue. And so that's going to be one of the issues that we have to deal with. The other issues that we're going to deal with are some homeschooling issues. Many of our police academies will not accept a child that is homeschooled, and that child may be as qualified as any other child. And right now the requirements are that they have to take the GED to be accepted into a police academy. So we're going to look at that, see if we can help our homeschool people with that issue. We may just be able to find a test that's comparable and be able to make it available for them to also be in the police academy like they want to.
Got a big agenda. Tuesday it happens, and we look forward to hearing from you. And can we do this again every week like we did last year? Is that something that'll work for you?
I would love to do that. It's very helpful for me to get that information out. I appreciate what y'all do to get that information out, and it's always important for me for the people to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, Senator. Thanks so much for your time.
Good to see you.